Hello everyone, back tuning in to today's first video, doing weekend forecast for today's first video. As always, on a Saturday we have a detailed look at the weather for the weekend. Now a few days ago it looked as though this coming week would be quite cold, with winds in from the north, quite cold and wintry. But of course over the past few days we've lost that, and instead we're looking at a very mild week. And also, perhaps more importantly, a very wet week as well. So parts of western, southwestern Scotland down to Northern Ireland into northwest England. From Tuesday through to Friday, there could be a lot, I do mean a lot of rain up there, with rainfall totals really clocking up. The story this week, instead of being cold and wintry, may in fact be one of flooding for northwestern parts of the country. So I'll talk you through everything that's going on in a second. Just to say that today's second video, coming up around 5 o'clock this afternoon, will be the CFS 6-month look ahead. So for this one, we are doing something different. We're combining the CFS model with the Beijing Climate Centre. You'll be able to see how the two models compare going forward for the next 6 months, just for fun. And I doubt we'll do that again, but it will give you a chance to compare the long-range model from America with the long-range model from China. And then around 7 o'clock this evening, we've got the 8th Christmas update coming up as well on the Christmas updates page. So loads of updates coming up today at the website. Do keep checking back for more. Just say that the website's using full weekend forecast coming from theweatherout.com and weathercentral.d, and also the Christmas shop is open. So if you've got any Christmas shop to do at Amazon between now and Christmas, click the green button that says Dad's Christmas Shop. It will take you through to our Christmas shop page. Then from there, go through the Amazon banners, go to Amazon, do Christmas shopping as normal. Don't need to do anything different, because you've gone from Gas Service to Amazon, but you get a review fee on the things that you are buying. And a big thank you to everybody for doing that again as we run up towards Christmas. So as I say, the website's using full weekend forecast, weatherout.com and weathercentral.d. You can find it to both those websites on the next page. And with so much going on, let's get on with it. So we're going to begin with the radar picture from the Weather Outlook. We've got showering bursts of quite heavy rain across parts of Wales and also down into central southern parts of England. So it's a bit wet down in the south at the moment. Further north, we've got a few showers across the Northern Ireland and southwestern Scotland, also a few showers for northern Scotland, but elsewhere there is a lot of dry weather through the course of the day. Quite cloudy though down across England and Wales. It's a bit brighter up in the north. Here's today's toxic pressure chart. So we're almost pulling down cold air from the north, but we are on the periphery of that again. Most of it is sinking down into the North Sea. However, it is quite a chilly day in any case. Excuse me. So we'll have cloud and outbreaks of rain across southern parts of the country through the course of this afternoon. Most of the rain will be light and patchy in nature, but there will be a few heavier bursts coming through. Brighter skies with scattered showers across Scotland and Northern Ireland. Those bright skies will be pushing southwards through the course of this afternoon. So I suspect parts of Wales and the Midlands may well brighten up a bit before it goes dark. Temperatures are quite cold today, ranging around 5 to 10 degrees Celsius, which is a bit below average for the middle of November. Overnight tonight, that cloud and patchy rain will become mostly confined to the very far southwest, so parts of Devon will probably stay cloudy and damp through the night. Showers will pull back towards the northern and eastern face coast. They might be a bit wintry over high ground, but the bulk of the country will actually be dry tonight, and it's going to get cold with long clear spells and light winds under this ridge. It's going to be a cold night with temperatures going down to freezing quite widely. Some rural areas might go down to -2. And with this showery rain that we've had across southern counties through the course of today, there might be risk of icy patches on untreated roads and pavements. So if you're off out and about late tonight or early tomorrow morning, watch out for the risk of a few icy stretches on untreated roads and pavements in parts of England and Wales, particularly central and southern areas. That leads us to quite a nice day for tomorrow. We're under this ridge of high pressure still, although low pressure is beginning to get its act together out to the north and west. So we start off sunny, dry and cold through most parts of the country with a fairly widespread frost. Many places will keep it dry with sunny spells through much of the day, but Scotland, western parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland will turn cloudier and damper there through the course of the afternoon and into the evening with a few patchy outbreaks of rain. Temperatures are cold tomorrow, despite the sunshine. We're down in single figures for most parts of the country, 4 to 9 degrees Celsius. But then that's the end of the cold weather, really, because on Monday, low pressure and its attendant weather fronts will be starting to move in from the Atlantic, and this sets the scene for the rest of the week. So Monday may start off mostly dry and still quite chilly over in the east, but in the west we'll have cloud and outbreaks of rain, heavy rain across Scotland and down into Northern Ireland, more showery in nature through Wales and South West England. I think we find this rain pushing eastwards through the course of Monday, so many places will have a spell of rain during the day. Probably turns wetter across England and Wales through the course of Monday afternoon, and turns a bit drier across Scotland and Northern Ireland. With this cloud and rain, we're also lifting the temperatures up. So after quite a cold start in the east, we'll see temperatures eventually finishing up through most parts of the country at around 10 degrees Celsius. 10 degrees is 50 degrees Fahrenheit. We go through into Tuesday and just look at this large blocking area of high pressure that's up over Greenland. That has come very close to giving us a cold and wintry week this coming week, but instead we're actually pulling up this very mild long fetch southwesterly wind, dragging the air up from somewhere like the Canary Islands as we have high pressure here across central parts of Europe. With low pressure out to the north and west, it keeps this blocking feature and its cold air mostly at bay. But northern Scotland is very, very close to that cold air and might just stay on the cold side of the areas of low pressure through much of this coming week. So yeah, I've got low pressure across Scotland on Tuesday, and there's going to be a trailing weather front here that connects back to these areas of low pressure out in the middle of the Atlantic. This weather front will be near stationary in the north and west through much of this coming week, so I'm afraid it looks like Tuesday will set the scene for the rest of the week. Scotland, Northern Ireland, probably down into northwest England, expect cloud and outbreaks of rain coming and going. The rain could be heavy over on the west of high ground and around western coast. Persistent heavy rain with those totals really clocking up on the western facing coast and hills. Down across England and Wales, away from the west, it's going to be mostly dry. There will be drizzly bits and pieces of rain. It's very cloudy with these long fetch southwesterly winds, but also very mild with temperatures ranging around 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. No change really into Wednesday. This low pressure just here is developing along this waving weather front. So again, I think we're looking at a very wet day for parts of Scotland, Northern Ireland, northwest England, probably down into the north and west of Wales. The rain particularly heavy on the western side of hills and coasts, but all of these areas will be at risk of outbreaks of rain through much of the day. Further south and east, again, it's mostly dry. Little bits and pieces of rain will be coming and going, but mainly dry through the Midlands, southern, southeastern England. Again, we're dragging up a lot of cloud, and it's turning increasingly windy up the western side as well, so winds could be reaching gale force around some Irish Sea coast by the end of Wednesday. But despite all of this, it's still very mild. The air is being pumped up from the tropical Atlantic, so we're looking at temperatures of around, let's say, 10 to possibly 16 degrees Celsius. 16 is the one that you can turn around to 61 Fahrenheit. This goes on into Thursday, but at the end of the week, there is quite a bit of uncertainty creeping in as to what's going on with these areas of low pressure. The earlier GFS run actually had a bit of a storm pushing eastwards on Thursday. I think the latter part of the week does have the prospect, whether it's Thursday or Friday, of possibly bringing our next named storm in across the country. So this particular GFS run is again keeping it very wet in the north and the west, the south and the east, mainly dry but cloudy. All areas are looking windy, and it's still very mild. The alternative is that we might get severe gale force winds in the west, with gales elsewhere and heavy rain sweeping eastwards across the whole of the country, followed by cooler and fresher air. And then Friday, so what's happening here is that the area of low pressure but might develop into that stormy weather on Thursday is actually being pushed through by this run of the GFS on Friday. So it's a little bit of difference in terms of timing. If this one is right, then we bring the gale force winds and the heavy rain across the country on Friday, and then as that clears out of the way, we cut off that tropical southwesterly, we start to turn winds into the north, so it begins to get colder with showers turning wintry perhaps across Scotland and Northern Ireland by the end of Friday. Do keep in mind, in the very, very far north of Scotland, particularly in the Northern Isles, we may be on the cold side of these areas of low pressure through much of the week. So there, it is likely to be colder, and some of the rain might actually fall as snow through the middle part of the week. By the time we get through to next weekend, so the low pressure finally is getting out of the way and it's turning the winds into the north. So we've cut off that long effect southwesterly. It's much colder on Saturday with wintry showers in the north and west and strong winds elsewhere. Temperatures really do take a tumble. However, it's only a very brief cold snap because by Sunday we're bringing in the next area of low pressure, that bringing wet and windy weather across the country. That might turn to snow on the northern edge across parts of Scotland. Very long way off for that though. Finally, just having a look at charts weather outlook. So there's the patchy rain down across the south this afternoon. It's brighter up in the north. We go through to Sunday and it's mainly dry but cold. There will be a widespread frost, maybe some icy patches on Sunday morning. Then showery bursts of rain are spreading across the country with milder temperatures for Monday, and then as we go through into Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, the rain is all in the north and the west. Expect very wet weather for parts of western Scotland, western southwest Scotland, down to Northern Ireland, into northwest England, north and west Wales. There will be a risk of localised flooding in those areas from Tuesday to Thursday. But the temperature is going to be very, very mild as well. By Thursday, we might start to see rain and strong to gale force winds pushing across the whole of the country, eventually perhaps leading to something brighter, drier and colder by the time we get through to Friday. The timing on that is a little bit uncertain. So, in summary, we're looking at a very unsettled week, very wet up in the north and the west. There will be a risk of localised flooding for parts of north and west Britain. The southern and eastern parts of the country has a lot of dry weather, actually, but it will be very cloudy through the week and also very mild. Starting off quite cold for this weekend and probably turning cold again by next weekend. In between, temperatures look very, very mild indeed away from northern Scotland. Come back later on around 5 o'clock this afternoon when we'll have the 6-month look ahead just for fun, looking at the CFS V2 and Beijing Climate Centre long range models. Then 7 o'clock this evening, it's the 8th Christmas update. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.